for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Colette Ambo. Coming up, more work lies ahead for government's Housing Revolution program, $47 million earmarked for new roads in the east, and the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority cautions the public on airport regulations. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Let's have some fun, eh?
I'm not ready for your kind of fun yet.
But everybody else is doing it.
But I'm not everybody else. I'm me, and I want to do well in school.
Well, you definitely get an A for attitude.
I plan to get an A in life, and then I think of your kind of fun.
So what am I to do in the meantime?
You'll survive.
Say no when you're not ready. Use condoms when you are.
Thanks for staying with us. The Honorable Minister for Housing, Lands and Settlements, Reginald Austrie, has announced that more remains to be done with the Dominica Labour Party government's housing revolution. He was speaking on the site of a huge housing project in Sansové, where 10 houses are being constructed to relocate families displaced by natural disasters in the area. He gave an update on the housing revolution.
When we started the housing revolution sometime in 2006, it was based on an estimate of 5,000 homes that were in need of significant repairs and another home shortage of some 10,000 homes. So in fact, to get us up to par, we needed to have an additional 10,000 homes in the country and the repairs to 5,000. By now, we somewhere pretty close to 4,000 that have in fact been repaired. And right now we have an ongoing program with the last tranche of money that we received from the Ministry of Finance. We have another $7 million now in circulation in the country, which would then probably take us up to 4,500-600 on the completion of this present phase of home renovation. In terms of home construction, we know that there are private homes that are going up, but the government has also invested in the construction of brand new homes. And right here it demonstrates some brand new homes being constructed.
In July, the Honorable Finance Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit, in his 2014-2015 budget address, announced that 18.4% of the $489.9 million budget is to be spent by the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Settlements. Honorable Austrie confirmed that some of that money has already been mobilized.
As we speak, we have new homes being constructed in several constituencies all across the country. So we have in fact begun the construction of those 1,500 new homes. Housing plays a very important part in the economic advancement of any society, any community. Not that it represents shelter, which is a basic human right, a basic human need, but also in terms of employment creation. This project started a couple of months ago, and I understand that we have between 30 and 40 people employed on a, well, it's not part-time, it's not short-term, but medium-term, because this project will take anywhere between 6 to 9 months to 1 year for completion, thus providing much needed employment. So with the construction of houses, you're not only improving the lives of your citizenry by giving them affordable housing, but also creating employment, which is very, very necessary in terms of economic growth and economic expansion.
Between 2009 and 2013, more than 3,500 individuals benefited from the house renovation and sanitation program. The program includes repairs to some houses, construction of new houses, and the replacement of pit latrines with modern washrooms. 40 petrol casas have been completed and handed over to families. Land has been sold to beneficiaries at $1 per square foot, under the Squatter Regularization Program, and more than 500 families in a number of communities have benefited from that component of the program. Land has been sold in various new housing developments at prices below the prevailing market price, with savings to the buyers estimated between 25% and 40%. Construction on some now 1,500 new homes will get underway by 2015. Funding has been secured for a major project for a complete overhaul of the road network in the East. The Honorable Finance Minister, Roosevelt Iscariot, revealed on Friday, November 28th, that government has already sourced the financing from the European Union and the World Bank. He said further that the tenders are in and soon contracts will be signed to begin work. The Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Casabroos constituency, Johnson Drygo, gave details in what the job will entail.
$47 million has been loaned from the World Bank for a road from Pogase to Casabroos to Petersburg, Casabroos to Hatton Garden. So we're looking forward to doing the proper shelving. We will replace every culvert on the project from Casabroos to Petersburg because all the culverts presently are too small for the volume of water that we have on this road. Where applicable, culverts will be turned into box culverts, and where necessary, very huge bridge will be built. But for sure, the people of Group Centre of Petersburg can look forward to a major road infrastructure project in the area sometime 2015, and it will create a lot of employment for the people of the area.
GIS News will bring you more information as it becomes available. Kelsey Wrighton, contestant number 7 in the Miss Dominica pageant 2015, has been fully sponsored by the Fort Young Hotel. Wrighton is the second contestant to be sponsored for Miss Dominica 2015. This is also the first time that the Fort Young Hotel is sponsoring a Queen contestant.
We believe that this is the right time to do so, and it is necessary as a stakeholder in the tourism and hospitality industry that we play our parts and support Carnival and the events that are organized around that time. This is our culture and part of the product that we present to our visitors when they are here. We want to ensure that this product remains of a high standard and quality, and hence our sponsorship. The second reason is that Kelsey is an employee of the Fort Young Hotel. I don't know if many of you know that. She is an outstanding employee, and we value her contribution to the overall success of the hotel. Kelsey, we believe, is destined for greater things, and we feel honored to assist her in fulfilling one of her many dreams, which is to be crowned Miss Dominica and to serve as an ambassador for Dominica locally, regionally, and internationally. And as she journeys to achieving this goal, the Fort Young Hotel board, management, and staff are fully behind Kelsey.
Kelsey Wrighton is from the community of Kings Hill. She says she is ready for the competition.
As we embark on this journey, Miss Dominica 2015, the support and emotional support by the Fort Young Hotel will go a long way. Your encouragement and support has solidified my resolve to focus on the journey ahead. May this union be one of new beginnings, blessings of light, love, peace, and all things good.
The 6 other contestants are Normana John Baptist, Kiana John, Odessa Eli, Briandra Blanchard, Sharis Nation, and Patrice Dorset. The Miss Dominica 2015 pageant is carded for February 13th, 2015 at the Winter Park Sports Stadium. Meantime, today is recognized globally as International Day of Persons with Disabilities. In observation of this day, GIS's Khadisha St. Lee has this report.
Today, December 3rd, 2014, marks the 12th anniversary of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, a United Nations observance promoting understanding of disability issues and mobilizing support for affected persons through localized meetings, campaigns, and support grants. This year, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities will focus on the role of technology in disaster risk reduction and emergency responses, creating enabling work environments, and disability-inclusive sustainable development goals.
International Day for Persons with Disabilities was proclaimed by the United Nations in 1992. And each year, there's a specific theme that is selected to commemorate the event. This year's theme, and of course International Day for Persons with Disabilities, is observed on December 3rd. Now this year the theme is Sustainable Development, the Promise of Technology.
In his message to the world regarding International Day of Persons with Disabilities, International Labour Organization General Director Guy Ryder says that today more than 1 billion people in the world have some form of disability. However, technology holds enormous promise in breaking down barriers and increasing the choices and opportunities available to persons with disabilities. Ryder said, for people with disabilities, the promise of technology is more than just a convenience. It can give them unprecedented independence and the flexibility they need to have far greater access to and advance in the labor market. Ryder believes that ICT solutions should be designed in an all-inclusive way and that assistive devices that some require are more easily available and affordable. Bridging the digital divide, he says, will play a key role in enabling women and men with disabilities to take part in the economy and society. The International Labour Organization's new Disability Inclusion Strategy and Action Plan is designed to ensure that disability is a key component in their cross-cutting policy and advocacy work to promote equality. The ILO is committed to making the promise of technology deliver on the aspirations of women and men with disabilities for decent work. A number of activities have been planned for this week by the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD.
On Saturday, we'll have a grand assembly for our members, friends, well-wishers at the Goodwill Parish Hall from 9 to 1 p.m. where we will, as I said, it's a grand assembly, but more or less socializing, and it will have different features as well, like a talent show, praise and worship, spending some time looking at the whole issue of the technology. How does people with disabilities, how do people with disabilities use the technology in their everyday life? So basically, that is what we have planned here at DAPD.
The director of the DAPD, Natalie Murphy, looks forward to the day when technology to assist persons with disabilities is more accessible. For GIS News, I'm Kadisha St. Louis.
In 5 days, Dominicans will go to the polls to elect men and women to serve the nation for the next 5 years. Every citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica, 18 years and over, should exercise their right to vote. GIS is bringing you information on where to vote in all 21 constituencies. So far, we have covered 12. Last time, we gave you information on where to vote in the Portsmouth, Roseau North, and Roseau Central constituencies. We continue with these next 3 constituencies. The Roseau South constituency. This constituency comprises Bath Estate, Elms Hall, Girondelle, Kings Hill, Loubier, Monbruce, and Newtown. Persons registered to vote in the Kings Hill area with the last names A to I will cast their ballots at the house of Annette Saint-Hilaire, while persons with last names J to O will cast their ballots at the Kings Hill Baptist Church. Those with last names P to Z will vote at the Harlem Community Center. Persons living in a Lower Newtown will also vote at the Harlem Community Center. In a Lower Newtown, registered voters can also cast their ballots at the Fatima Church Hall. In a Newtown Central, persons will vote at the Newtown Primary School, Ginger School. In Eggleston, voters will cast their ballots at the Eggleston Old Primary School, and in a Girondelle, the Girondelle Primary School. In a Loubier, registered voters with last names A to G will vote at the House of Henry Scotland, and H to Z will vote at the Loubier Resource Center. In a Bath Estate, voters will cast their ballots at the Roseau Primary School located in Bath Estate, and those in Elms Hall will vote at the house of Eusebilia Luce. And now, the Roseau Valley constituency. This constituency comprises Cochrane, Loda, Morne Prospect, Trafalgar, and Wharton Waven. Residents of Shawford and Fauquanet will cast their ballots at the house of Natalie Joseph. Residents of Trafalgar with last names A to J will cast their ballots at the Trafalgar Primary School, while those with last names K to Z will cast their ballots at the Trafalgar Community Centre. Those in Loda will vote at the Loda Primary School, while those in Wharton Waven will vote at the Wharton Waven Primary School. Registered voters in Mont Prosper with last names A to J will vote at the primary school in Mont Prosper, while those with last names K to Z will use the Mont Prosper preschool. In Copt Hall, the house of Colbert Pinard will be the location of the polling station, and in Cochrane, the Cochrane Primary School. And finally, this evening, the Petite Savane constituency. The Petite Savane constituency comprises Bagatelle, Belfie-Chopin, Fosséja, and Petite Savane. Registered voters in this constituency living in Pichelet will vote at the Pichelet Community Centre. Those residing in Petite Savane with the last names A to L will vote at the Petite Savane Primary School, and M to Z will vote at the Petite Savane Village Council Office. Those residing in Dubic will cast their ballots at the Dubic Resource Centre. Residents of Bagatelle will vote at the Bagatelle Primary School, while those in Belfie-Chopin, the Belfie-Chopin Primary School. Next time, we will look at where to vote in the Salisbury, St. Joseph, and Sally Bear constituencies. With immediate effect and until further notice, only persons who have demonstrated that they have legitimate business at the airport will be granted access to the Douglas Charles Airport and the Canefield Airport. Keeping with its responsibilities in accordance with Annex 17 of the Chicago Convention and Act 8 of 2006 and Act 21 of 2005, Chapters 4701 and 4702 of the Revised Laws of Dominica, the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, issued this course of action on the 1st of this month. This is to remind the traveling and the general public that the airport regulation stipulates the airport is a restricted area. According to DASPA, the two aforementioned local airports operate and comply generally with common international civil aviation recognized practices and procedures to assure the safety of passengers, crew, ground personnel, the general public, the aircraft, and facilities of the airport against all acts of unlawful interference perpetuated on the ground or in flight. DASPA made reference to Civil Aviation Act 21 of 2005, which states 3. Every person in a security-restricted area shall, on the request of a security officer, state his name and address, and produce satisfactory evidence of its correctness, and the purpose of his presence in such an area, and his authority to enter it. 4. A security officer may order any person who has failed to satisfy a request made under subsection 3 to leave a security-restricted area, and any such person shall comply with such an order. 5. A security officer and any person he calls to his assistance may use such force as may be reasonably necessary to remove from any security-restricted area any person who fails or refuses forthwith to leave the security-restricted area after having been ordered by a security officer to do so in accordance with subsection 3. All vehicles entering the airport will also be checked before being allowed into the restricted area of the Douglas Charles Airport and the Canefield Airport. Vehicles not meeting the requirements for entry shall not be permitted to enter. The public is also reminded that no unauthorized person shall enter or be upon any runway, loading platform, or within the customs area of the airport. Neither must any person damage or in any way interfere with any lighthouse, buoy, beacon, ground lights, or other property of the authority in such a manner as to endanger or as might endanger the life of any individual. According to DASPA, anyone who breaches these restrictions is committing an offense and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which renders them liable on conviction to imprisonment for a 10-year term. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ça fait Hollande Observer Mission, ça c'est équipe régionale et internationale qui est en Dominique pour monitorer l'élection générale, ça bien important pour l'élection la chaîne et puis WEG. Parole celle-là sorti ambassadeur Dominique pour CARICOM, His Excellency Félix Grégoire.
Nous on dit dans ça qui est Global Village, avec ça qui fait Dominique, avant Jean-Dominique, je savais, Jean d'autres pays, je savais. So, si pour dire, moun les savent tout bagay qui a marché bien, on est tout pour un parti moun qui a parlé contre démocratie, démocratique right, tout ces bagay ça, tout un parti association qui les savent tout partout ni ces bagay ça là. So, il est bon pour yo venir comment bagay qui a marché. Pour yo ça dit d'autres moun, nous aussi, d'autres moun comment yo kakopan bagay la marché, si bon ou si pas bon.
Un d'autres nouvelles, projet BAM qui a assisté secteur agricole en Dominique. Parole celle-là sorti au permanent secrétaire, ministre agriculture, Harold Guest.
BAM c'est un projet qui est sponsorisé par l'European Union avec une différente bagaille. BAM une bagaille pour avancer la production figue. Comme ça, nous les black gâteaux, BAM gagne nous et puis ça. BAM gagne nous, comme ça encore. Là, au produit quelque chose, au panier belle chimie, ou bien bon chimie, pour ça faire produit à sortir de montagne, c'est pas de montagne non Dominique. Comme ça, au besoin bon chimie, parce que si c'est pas ça, il a bouleversé trop, il a brousse, là où venir pour vendre produit, ou qu'à perdre partie de l'argent. Comme ça, bam galé, ranger 14 chimie, que ça feed the roads. Qui a l'établissement, c'est planté, c'est ça qu'il a travaillé puis ça. Nous avons aussi travaillé avec jeunes monde, avec d'après intéressant en agriculture, avec ça c'est un beau programme. Avec nous avons travaillé aussi avec ces fameuses draps qui sont bêtes, vous comprenez, cochons. Poules, bœufs, avec petits animaux comme cabrit, avec moutons. Pour ça, tous ces bagages là, pour avancer l'agriculture, généralement, bam événement avec ça.
En la nouvelle, ministère Kai, Honorable Reginald Ostring, qui a fait parole qui plie travail qui prend place en bas programme Révolution Kai. Honorable Ostring fait parole cela. Pendant qu'il a parlé à l'occasion un gros projet CAI où la disque a bâti en Saint-Sauvin. C'est CAI là qui allait pour mon famille a été affectée pendant le désastre qui était en place en plein l'année qui passait. Le gouvernement a déjà annoncé que 400 avec 89,9 millions de dollars budget, 18,4% qui est dépensé pour ça fait CAI. Le ministre Ostrick a fait parole qui a dans l'agence LAM déjà tapé à l'occasion. Programme l'année réparation CAI neuf kabati et puis élimination privée et puis sanitation moderne. Dominicain aussi tapé opportunité pour tuer le gouvernement pour que bien raisonnable. Gouvernement qui aussi bâti 1500 maisons l'année 2015. Et puis finalement, il y a un contestant qui a participé à un spectacle national l'année 2015 tapé sponsor Kelsey Wrighton. Yo travaillé Fortune Hotel, quand tu sponsor hotel ça Cleopatra Coffee, c'est le même comité qui a organisé le spectacle là.
Nous venons pour nous mettre sache Kelsey Wrighton. Kelsey Wrighton c'est une jeune madame là qui a allé pour Miss Dominica 2015. Et puis aujourd'hui, Fortune, il a travaillé Fortune Hotel et puis Fortune Hotel qui a une responsabilité pour Kelsey. Il a sponsor Kelsey. Et puis, aujourd'hui, il y a un sachet, so aujourd'hui, Kelsey, c'est Miss Fortune Hotel.
Est-ce que vous êtes bien satisfait avec ça Fortune Hotel Café?
Oui, je suis bien content de ça Fortune Hotel Café. Parce que tout le monde Dominique aime Queen Show. Et puis, laissez les gens venir pour aller pour Queen Show. Si les gens Fortune Hotel pas sorti et puis venir aider nous et puis nous passons ni Queen Show là. So nous commandons les autres monde confortable hotel ça qui est business qui ça aide nous et puis c'est les autres jeunes monde parce que nous sommes 7 jeunes madame. So les autres moun qui ni business Comfortion Hotel si yo sa vini et puis pour aider nous ça te fait Queen Show bien pour Queen Show et puis te fait meilleur pour nous.
Kofi ka complimenter Hotel Fortune pour venir devant sponsor contestant right.
Fortune Hotel c'est un de ces premiers qui vini pour aider nous et puis c'est jeune madame la Nounia et puis FOYO est bien bon et puis qui aide nous pour nous faire show un bon show pour Queen Show 2015.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous faire en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up, more money-saving tips for Christmas.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Young children don't value your gift based on a price. They sometimes even seem more interested in playing with the wrapping. So don't shell out on big bucks unnecessarily. Get a reasonably priced yet fun gift. You may even fill a huge box with blown-up balloons. They're bound to love the excitement in that. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter @GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here in the GIS News production team, I'm Colette Ambo. Thanks for watching.